Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character and random weapon and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Let's see what the game gives me here. So we're going to roll a random character, and we got the Wildling. Wildling is honestly a pretty high roll for this random challenge, not because the character is that strong, although it's a fairly strong character overall, but because your random weapons are all, generally speaking, very good. Pretty much no matter what we roll here, we're reasonably happy, so I'm going to go ahead and roll and see what we get, and we got the Quarterstaff. So this should give us a lot of levels. We don't really have to buy damage, because we're going to get additional damage from our levels, rather than having to buy melee damage, and it gives us additional XP gain as well. Of course, we start with a stick, so we're going to have to sell that immediately, and it is true that Quarterstaff is a weapon that wants to level up, so that you want to get to higher levels, which the Wildling can't. And the lifesteal is less good on this weapon because it's a melee weapon, so it's harder to trigger the lifesteal. But this is still just a very solid weapon for this character overall. Here I'm going to roll, and we're looking for harvesting if we can find it. I'm going to roll one more time here, and we'll take 5 harvesting, and then we're going to sell our stick and roll, and we will buy a Quarterstaff and roll, and buy a Quarterstaff, roll again, lock this coupon, and lock another Quarterstaff. Feeling pretty good about this so far. Wildling doesn't have to as aggressively level its weapons in the first couple shops because, of course, you have maximum weapon levels, but getting all your weapons to level 2 is pretty hard to do regardless, and with a weapon like Quarterstaff, that also scales our economy by giving us XP gain, we want to level it as quickly as possible to maximize that benefit. Similar to support weapons, where you want to get the harvesting going as early as possible, Quarterstaff is basically the same principle. You want to make sure that you are getting as many of these and as high level as possible to get the additional XP gain as early as you can. Take another Quarterstaff here. Cute Monkey is another way to heal that we could potentially benefit from. Yeah, I think that's worth locking, and then I'm going to roll and see if we can lock another staff. Unfortunately, we missed, but that's okay. I will say Wildling is not one of my favorite characters because honestly, there's not that much going on for the character. The penalty of you can't equip higher level weapons is barely a penalty, so you're pretty much just a character that gets 30% bonus lifesteal for no downsides. And I don't find that to be terribly interesting most of the time. I'm going to take 10 luck here over 5 harvesting because it's a level 2 upgrade. We don't really need maximum HP yet, though, because we're a primitive weapon, so we're going to get a bunch of that. We also get a bunch of free combat stats, or defensive stats, from the Quarterstaffs. I could take 8% damage, or I could take 5 harvesting. This early, I'm just going to go ahead and take harvesting. Even though it's a lower level upgrade, I want to get this to 21, so it can start scaling by 2 per wave. Here I will, even though this coupon would reduce our item costs, I'm going to take the Quarterstaff first, just to make sure that we're maximizing our XP gain. I'll lock the beanie here, and I will reroll one more time to see if we can get another staff. Especially because our damage scales with our levels, it's just so important to get the XP gain. And the one additional material that we would save by buying the coupon first, we will probably make back just by having 6 weapons, which makes our wave clear faster. And the 2% XP gain is worth a lot as well. I mean, not a lot, but still worth something also. So I think buying it in that order compared to one additional material just makes more sense overall. Only got 1 curse alien, but I'm still pretty happy with this. Here, I'm going to reroll and look for harvesting. That's great. And then attack speed is really important for this weapon. It's a very slow attacking weapon, so what we need to do is scale its attack speed as much as possible. Leveling our Quarterstaffs gets us to 5% XP gain, which is great. And then we'll take a beanie here. And then roll. Even though you get 5% from the level 2 and only 4% from 2 level 1s, I don't think it's worth combining these early. You do just want to max out your weapon set, because they also give you incredible weapon tags, so I think that's the more important thing there. We'll take the propeller hat here. Non-weapon sources of damage like Baby Elephant can be pretty good for the Wildling, because our weapon damage is sort of capped, since we can't level our weapons past 2. So I'm going to take Baby Elephant, Weird Ghost. We have no healing. Actually, we've got the Cute Monkey. I'll take the Weird Ghost as well. 3 HP for 18, I think, is just too efficient to pass up on, and we should be able to avoid tanking damage on wave 6 here, at least until we heal up a little bit. Even with a weapon that's sort of bad for defending you, like the Quarterstaff, because it attacks very slowly, so it's not very good at keeping you from taking any hits. We should be able to manage that. I'm going to trust in my dodging capabilities. Famous last words, of course. I've done, I don't know, like 200 or so Brotato videos, and the number of times that Weird Ghost has killed me, you can probably count on like 2 fingers. So people, I think, get really nervous about that item, but it is, generally speaking, not a huge problem to buy Weird Ghost. We'll take another Quarterstaff here and then roll. One challenge I have, of course, is that this is a weapon I usually ignore, so I'm sort of by habit going to roll past it, and I need to make sure I avoid doing that. All right, we also have the lifesteal. I completely forgot the Wildling's bonus, so we do have healing. We have 30% lifesteal. Did I forget what character we were playing? Yes, absolutely. So yeah, obviously we should buy the Weird Ghost there. There's no reason not to. You're going to heal back to full. Surprisingly difficult to pick up these materials, just because Quarterstaff does actually have a fairly long attack range, so we're leaving a decent number of materials on the ground. Here I'll just take the level 3 upgrade. When in doubt, just grab the level 3 upgrade, and then we will reroll here, and I'll take regeneration, though. Even though we have the bonus lifesteal from the Wildling, 30% lifesteal, I do want a little regeneration so that we can heal without having to actually melee stuff. Clover is excellent to get this early. Obviously, with the medieval weapon tag, we have a little bit of a head start on dodge, so we can get even more dodge with the Clover, and then we'll take another Quarterstaff and a Lost Duck as well. Almost maxed on our weapons. I think one quality of life thing that would make the Wildling more fun and a little more interesting is if it stopped spawning weapons once you had 6 level 2 weapons. I don't think that every character should do that, because I think you should be able to swap weapons from one kind to another, even if you're maxed on your current weapon set. But for the Wildling, I think that would be an interesting niche, that you could sort of ignore weapons after the early game and just focus on your items and not have them show up in the slot at all, in the shop at all. Because your bonus only applies to primitive weapons, you're never going to swap your weapon set to something else later on. Maybe if you find a really cool legendary. But I think that would be an interesting niche for this character to fill. Here, I'm going to go for the attack speed. We definitely need all the attack speed that we can get. And we'll take a fertilizer as well. Yes, it costs me a melee damage, which does decrease the damage of the Quarterstaffs, but it's fine. Quarterstaff mostly scales off our levels anyways. I will take Gambling Token, because, again, we can get to dodge cap fairly early. We'll take an Adrenaline as well, and I'm going to roll one more time here. Do I want the Goat Skull? Don't think I care that much about it, so we'll just keep our Adrenaline locked and go to the next wave. The challenge for this character is going to be to fight elites, because, of course, we have a relatively low damage weapon in the Quarterstaff. It makes up for it with its economy, but it itself does fairly low damage. And it can be somewhat difficult for this character to get enough single target damage with low weapon levels to kill elites. Of course, we've got pretty good defenses in the form of our medieval weapon tag, our primitive weapon tag, and our inherent lifesteal. So we should be able to just survive elites, even if we can't necessarily kill them. And hopefully we can get the damage to be able to kill them. Even if not the first one, then at least like the second one. I'm happy to just tank hits here to maximize my wave clear. Like I said, we've got 30% lifesteal, so we can pretty constantly just regenerate. Now that I've remembered that I have that. Let me roll here, and it's not too late to take more harvesting, so we'll just go ahead and pick up a little bit more. This is the unfortunate truth of playing the Wildling, is we now have to sell a level 1 Quarterstaff and buy the level 2. It is worth doing this, but it feels bad when a level 1 Quarterstaff would have been just as good for us. Then we'll buy both of these, and then roll. Tardigrade, I don't think we care about. Riposte, we're not really building melee damage, so I'm going to pass on that as well. Let me roll again. And here you can see we're starting to see more Quarterstaffs show up, even though we don't want them. But I will then pick up a Shmoop. Extra HP and regeneration is still pretty good. And like I said, we want a little regeneration. We don't need to focus as much on it as other characters would, because we have the lifesteal. But melee lifesteal is inherently pretty unreliable, especially against deletes, which is where we're going to need our healing. So I want to sort of support it with regeneration. I'd have loved to find a little bit more XP gain as well, so we could get even more stats from levels. Mostly what we need at this point is armor and attack speed. Any XP gain item that we find would be phenomenal also. So we'd be very happy with that. Try to kill this spawner for the extra cash income here. We have managed to get 50 harvesting, which is nice, because you really need to get your harvesting going early on this map, otherwise your economy is going to start falling behind. I'll take the boxing glove. The melee damage isn't totally irrelevant, obviously. We still scale with what, 85% of our melee damage, so, or 65% of our melee damage, so buying a little melee damage doesn't hurt, and for 8 materials, I think it's worth it. Here, do I just want the percent damage? It is, our percent damage is pretty low. Yeah, I'll just grab 8% damage here. Then I'm going to re-roll, because I think we can do better, and 3 armor is perfect. We'll take a Shmoop and a Spicy Sauce. This is another way we can deal damage that doesn't involve actually using our weapons. And then a Shady Potion is also really good. Decomposing Flesh, I'm going to buy as well. Getting to like 50-60% lifesteal could be kind of fun, and I don't really care about losing the HP from level ups, because this doesn't actually, it says -1 max HP when you level up, but all this does is stop you from gaining the HP when you level up. So we're not going to go below 56 HP from having this, and that's a totally reasonable amount. And then even this late, I will still buy the Weird Ghost, it's just very efficient, and we'll pick up the Leather Vest as well. And for 15, I'm not going to reroll. So, playing a little bit further back just because we bought the Weird Ghost, but now we've life stolen and regenerated enough that we're fine. Maybe the Spicy Sauce wasn't particularly good. That item typically doesn't actually do damage to enemies because enemies that close to you are going to be dying to your weapons before the explosion goes off. So usually it's just an inefficient way to buy max health, which we don't really need. So I probably should have passed on the Spicy Sauce in retrospect. If we could find more geckos, though, I'd be really happy. Or cyber balls. Because we've actually built a lot of luck, so that's a great way to add to our wave clear, the luck-based damage. Here, I'm gonna take 16% damage because it's a level 4 upgrade, and then attack speed or armor. I'll take the attack speed. I still think we need more clear speed. We also have Horde waves coming up, so attack speed is very good there. And I remembered that we had, which I didn't remember, but I did remember that we had a leather vest locked in the shop, so we were about to buy a little bit more armor already. Take a Gentle Alien, that's always an excellent find. Tentacle, so Quarterstaff only crits for 1.5x damage, and so it's not that efficient to buy crit chance on this item, but this is another way to heal. The crit chance is still okay. I think we will buy the Tentacle, and I'll buy the Cake, but I'm going to pass on the Spicy Sauce. As I determined last time, I think it's better to just pass on that. We'll take Coupon and Metal Detector, Do I need Garden? Garden is decent insurance, especially because I did just increase enemy damage. Do we have consumable heal? We don't. I think we can pass on the Garden. I think we just have enough healing that I really don't need to invest in too much more healing. If we get one more, like, regeneration item as well, something like a Sad Tomato, then our regeneration will be very solid also. And we just bought the Tentacle, which, while it doesn't improve our damage output that much, does do that a little bit, and also improves our healing. Taking a few hits here and there, but that's fine. I'm fine tanking some damage to maximize our wave clear again, because this character has so much inherent healing that we can afford to just stand in all of this enemy damage in order to be constantly gaining more kills. I do need to kill these healers, though, because our damage is slow and dealt sort of in AoE and over time with the luck-based splash damage and everything, so killing the healers would have been pretty important there. I will take the glass cannon. That will help our damage out a lot, and then I'm going to roll here. Do I just want 6 melee damage? 65% scaling? Yeah, probably. Just getting our base damage of our weapons a little higher seems pretty good to me. Take the metal detector as well. Again, we can't buy this. We'll take the helmet, because more armor is always good. We're going to roll here. I guess this is great for the Wildling, because we already have our weapon set. Our forever weapon set is already online, so I'll grab the knot here. Ugly Tooth, do I want that? I think we can pass on Ugly Tooth. Ever since they nerfed this item, I've been much less impressed by it, and I think on the Abyss, you typically want either defenses or just to kill the elite, and slowing down its movement speed isn't that exciting to me. And it's obviously always worse on melee characters than on ranged characters, because you have to get next to them to slow them on a melee character. So I think post-nerf, I really should be passing that item more. I kept buying it for a long time out of habit, but just as I've gotten a little more experience with this map and with the item after its nerf, I think I should just buy it a lot less than I currently am. Pretty happy I took that melee damage, because the extra damage is letting us clear the wave a little bit faster. Let's kill this curse alien. Then we're going to run through all these enemies and kill this loot alien, if I can manage to. Nice, got it. Then we're going to run over here and kill the curse alien. Just tanking the entire horde wave as we go, because we've built so much regeneration, or we have so much healing inherently, and we've got all the defensive stats that our weapons are giving us. Laser turret, yeah, this can help a little with wave clear, and medical turret can help a little with healing, so that's fine. Bat, sure, a little more lifesteal. That'll let us, again, just exist inside groups of enemies even better. I'm going to reroll here. I would take a couple of these, but I think we can do a little better. I'll roll one more time. Unlucky, but I'll take 3% lifesteal, and then here, I'm just going to take 10 luck, I think. We'll take a whetstone as well. No, I'm going to pass on the whetstone. I'll take the ritual because it gives me % damage, which we actually want. But buying more lifesteal when we've already got 40%, we just don't need to spend money on that, really. I'll take the beanie here, and I did just talk about not wanting Ugly Tooth. But it does pull a unique out of the pool, which is also something to consider. It stops it from showing up again like this and taking up a valuable slot, but I think we're still going to pass on it. Panda, of course, we're going to grab. 25 luck and also the max HP are excellent. And then let's reroll. A Bean Teacher, great. The more levels we get, the more damage our Quarterstaffs do, so we're very happy with that. And yeah, we can lose 1 melee damage, which is basically like half a damage on our weapons for the Peaceful Bees dodge. And the harvesting isn't totally useless either. For 25, I think I will save my money. XP gain items like Bean Teacher obviously they have an interesting relationship with Quarterstaff, because they are strong, because obviously you want to level up so that your Quarterstaffs do more damage. But they are also weaker than normal because the quarterstaffs give you XP gain, and the more XP gain you have, the worse each individual point is. Each further point of XP gain gets less valuable than the one before. So there is an interesting tension there. In general, though, with quarterstaff, the levels equals more damage, just the sort of very basic level 1 analysis, is the strongest analysis. More damage is good, level up as much as possible with this weapon so that you do more damage. It's easy to try to get too clever with stuff like that, but turns out that sometimes the right answer is just damage equals good by damage. Here we're going to take the armor, because I do want to hit at least 10 armor. Incendiary turret, I don't think is going to help us clear the Horde wave that much. Alien magic, how much do I care about this? We already have 88 max HP. I think I will buy it just to try to hit like 120. Barnacle, great. That's going to give us a lot of stats, because we've already invested a lot into leveling up quicker. Grind magical leaf we will take, jerky we will take, and bait we will take as well, going into this Horde wave. Let's see about the Horde wave. So you can kind of stand in the center of all of them charging, and they will charge around you, and the projectiles will pass you if you move off to the side and then hold still with bait. So you usually shouldn't take that much damage from the lampreys as long as you have a decent way of killing them relatively quickly. Playing sort of around my medical turret. It's not that important, but it will keep us at full health. But I do want to run over here to clear out that curse alien. Again, we are playing in the middle of these groups of enemies, both because it increases my wave clear and we can't, it's harder for, we basically can't die unless I really mess up and walk into a lot of attacks because our healing is so strong at this point. But also, as I kill an enemy, if a consumable spawns from that, which it's fairly likely to, since we have a lot of luck, then that consumable has a chance of exploding from our spicy sauce and clearing out the Horde much faster. I am thinking that maybe I should have taken the second spicy sauce, by the way. Take 12 dodge here, that's great, and we will take 16% damage, also excellent. We're going to buy both of these items and then roll. Nothing here we want, we'll roll. Of course, we'll take a fish hook, even this late, it's excellent. Same with fertilizer, even this late, still pretty good. Treasure map, again, even late, this item is ridiculous. And we'll take a sunglasses as well. This schmoop I'm going to pass on. Being at like 100 max HP, I think we'll be fine. And we've got some regeneration. I could use a little bit more, even with our current very high lifesteal. A little more regeneration would give us a safety buffer, especially for elite fights. But it's not urgent that we do that, and I don't want to spend that much money on an item that gives us stats we mostly don't need. They're kind of purely luxury stats. I'd rather focus on stats that we do need to try to wave clear faster, level up faster, get more defenses so that we don't die in terms of armor and dodge, and so on. We got one crate out of this wave. Can we get the second loot alien? Got it. Because, of course, we bought lure, so we were guaranteed at least 2 loot aliens. Looks like we got unlucky and only got 2, but still pretty good here. And then, so ball and chain. How fast are our weapons attacking? 0.87. Honestly, I don't think we're that likely to get our attack speed much faster because we can't level up our weapons, and that's one way you often increase the speed of your weapon attacks. So I think I will take the ball and chain here. This is a funny run because we're taking a bunch of items that normally I really dislike. Ball and chain and not are items that I normally avoid very, very heavily. But in this case, they're not terrible. Spider is fairly inefficient, 6% attack speed and 12% damage for 250 here. We also lose dodge and harvesting. I think we can pass on the spider. Our percent damage is also very high, so it has a little less value. Metal detector this late. It does give me luck, which isn't horrible because we do have 2 baby elephants, which are a pretty significant portion of our wave clear right now. So any additional luck we get is not bad. So I'm going to buy 6 luck at a discount. We're not going to make our money back from that metal detector, but the 6 luck at a discount I think is fine. Take a whistle here as well, and then roll one more time, and another fish hook, and a tree. Unfortunately, nothing here. Well, I can lock this quarterstaff, actually, because we can swap to cursed quarterstaffs, I guess. Oh, no, we can't, because I can't, I bought the knot. So that is a downside of knot. I did sort of forget that we had fish hook. Or I guess I got the knot before the fish hooks, but I almost forgot that we had knot and tried to lock for a cursed weapon. And that is a real downside of knot that I didn't really consider for this character, is one way we could actually improve the Wildling is rolling into cursed weapons. Something important to consider for this character on the Abyss, for sure, that I didn't consider for this run. I still think it's correct to buy the knot, but that is a real cost to buying it. I will say, every time I buy that item, I think, this time it's totally fine to buy the knot, and then it finds a new way to mess me up. Really dislike the design of that item, I have to say. I think it's just not very fun. Because the upside just isn't strong enough for the feels bad moment of having it just mess you up completely, which it can do so easily if you buy it in the wrong spot, or even just not being able to buy a cool legendary that you find or whatever. It's bad for, it's like very strong, so a lot of the time it's correct to buy, but it's so bad for casual players, I think, and their enjoyment of the game. I really dislike that item's design. Let's roll here, and I'll take the attack speed to try to get to the 0.75 attack speed cap. Mammoth, even with lower melee damage scaling, this is still a lot of bonus damage, so we're going to take that. Fertilizer, this late, I think we can pass on. Defective steroids, I'm going to pass on as well. And do I take the banner here? I think I will pass on all of this stuff and just reroll, and we'll take another shady potion. Stone skin. Honestly, do we need 17 max HP? We don't really, but I'll take the stone skin just to give ourselves a little bit more buffer as we go into the boss waves. If I could get Cyber Ball, a couple more baby elephants, anything along those lines that would really speed up our clear speed. Baby gecko to pull in materials from enemies that our baby elephants have killed would also be pretty nice for us as well, because it would help us get that luck attacking chain going. Killing that loot alien, which is great, of course, to find one of those, and then we get a curse alien as well. I should have run to the left sooner and killed that tree. The bat here, we're just going to recycle. We really don't need any more lifesteal. We've gotten 50% lifesteal on our weapons, so we just really don't need more. I will take the cauldron here, and then here we're going to take 16% dodge. That puts us way over dodge cap, but that's fine. I'll take 6 regen just to give us even more regeneration. Here's the cursed quarterstaff to punish us for having the knot. So, brutal. Instantly regret that, obviously. We'll take the bloody hand here. We don't have triangle of power or anything, so that's a bunch of extra damage, and then we're gonna roll. Although this doesn't count our bonus lifesteal from primitive weapons, we already have 30 lifesteal, so the bloody hand is still gonna be a lot of extra damage here. And then let's go ahead and buy a Cyclops worm and try to fight an elite. I think our damage should be good enough to kill the elite. Our damage isn't spectacular, but our defensive stats are great, and our damage is solid, so we should be able to kill it pretty quickly without too much risk. And this is kind of what you want on the Wildling, is to reach a point where your defensive stats are just so high that even though your damage output is only sort of medium because your weapons are capped in levels, that you can just kill the elites. The existence of cursed weapons does change that a little bit, because if you get cursed level 2 weapons, which obviously I've locked myself out of, but if you do get cursed level 2 weapons, then that still improves your damage a lot. So, Wildling on the Abyss can have even more damage. The downside of locking you at level 2 weapons, which is already only barely a downside, is even less of a downside on this map. So, Wildling, I think, another character where if you are looking for an Abyss win, if you're struggling on this map, this character should make it quite easy. Let's recycle that and recycle that. Take the hunting trophy here, mostly because I'm curious to see how much money it gives us. And medkit, yeah, I will take 10 regen. It does cost me luck, but now if I buy the medkit, we have a bunch of regen. This fairy for only 2 regeneration, I'm actually going to recycle, because I think it's quite likely that we buy more level 4 items and end up losing regeneration off the fairy, because we already have a bunch of level 4 items. Take 9 crit chance here, and then we will roll. We'll take a little bit more damage, because any lifesteal we get, of course, is very good for our bloody hand. Take a mastery. Keep rolling. Baby squid, we would have definitely taken earlier. At this point, it's not particularly exciting, but I'll take a fin for sure. And then I will roll again. Lock this duct tape and go to wave 19. Just gonna drink some water. These, the number of cursed enemies that we're getting is increasing our income quite a bit, so that's part of why it was so important to hunt down those cursed aliens earlier. The cursed garden is also just constantly pooping out consumables, which is excellent for us. And although the walruses, when they're buffed, are hard to kill, we can still take them out over time. Oh, let me get this tree if I can before the end of the wave. Nice. Picked that up. Sunken Bell could be pretty good. This could help just keep us in safety as we kill the bosses. This will stop enemies from swarming us. It can also be a good burst of damage to help kill them a little faster. Bean Teacher, if it didn't come with -4 damage because we have the Bloody Hand, I might actually take this, because if we get one more level during the last wave, then that's just more damage that we're doing. And in fact, I am going to take the Scar here, because if it ends up giving us one level up during the wave, our level does increase during the wave. It's not, you don't have to wait until the level up screen. So it will increase the damage of our Quarterstaffs and have us do more damage. Crit chances, even at a relatively inefficient rate, one of the better ways for us to increase our damage output here. Tree and Coupon, we're going to pass on both of. Power Generator, I'll take. This is a damage increase. Cape, we will definitely take. This is a massive damage increase. And we will take Baby Elephant. And do I want Glass Cannon or Helmet? I'll take the Glass Cannon. Increasing our percent damage, I think, is just going to help us kill the elites faster. And 16 armor should be enough for this boss fight. Kill the bosses faster. For some reason, I always say elites when I mean bosses and bosses when I mean elite, but I think you guys get the idea. If I had my own item in Brotato, it would give me an extra 1% damage every time I forgot the name of an item or enemy. And it would make every run just incredibly easy. Kill the whale boss first, because it's the one that does the more damage and is generally speaking more dangerous. But we have so much regeneration and armor that we can pretty safely just play on top of the snake there. I took that damage deliberately to trigger the Sunken Bell and speed up our clear speed. So I just stood in it to try to get to 40%. And blow it up just a little bit faster, because I wanted to kill the bosses just that tiny little bit faster. Alright, well that was a pretty clean run, as indeed it should be when you're playing this character. The Wildling, I think, is a quite straightforward character, even easier if you use slingshots or javelins, because those weapons are just busted and really, really good with the Wildling. So again, if you want to get a not entirely free win, but very straightforward win on the Abyss, Wildling is one of the characters I would definitely recommend. Our coupons saved us 1,000 materials. We healed 250 from the cute monkey. That's pretty nice. And dealt only 85k from the baby elephant. I was actually expecting those to be worth more damage. The adrenaline healed us a bunch. Adrenaline's interesting. I think it only counts the HP you actually heal. So if you overheal, it doesn't count. I was a little surprised because it shows us as having recovered 149, which obviously you can't get in multiples of 5. Only 8k damage from the spicy sauce, so not horrible, but it typically you're not buying this item for damage, which is why I said that maybe we shouldn't have, though I think it did work out. That 8k damage I think came during relevant points in the run, so it ended up helping us clear the wave when we were struggling with that a little bit. 16 extra lifesteal from decomposing flesh, which is really nice. Does it again and ruins everyone's lives. I really just need to get rid of this item from my to just stop buying this. Treasure map, even though we found it late, this was basically 2 lures in a single item, just 2 bonus items. So this item always overperforms. Our fish hooks did almost nothing because we didn't lock any items later on. We just never ended up finding items that were worth locking. So we didn't get any value out of the fish hooks, but of course this is a ridiculous item that we could have gotten more value out of, and would have, if I hadn't bought the knot, we'd have ended up locking for cursed weapons and getting a lot of value there. So a little bit of anti-synergy between the things that we bought there. Alright, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this Wildling random run, and of course, as always, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like, helps me out a ton with the algorithm, and you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I will catch you next time.